Hello guys and girls, how's it going? It's Greasella here and I hope you're all well, and you join me in the AB43, yes, the Italian tank with wheels. This is the armoured car with the 47mm gun. Yes, that's right. Yep. Sorry, my brain is a bit dead, there's been lots of zoos tonight. And this is my first game in it. Now, unfortunately, we're in snow, which is not the best for a vehicle with desert camouflage. Also, unfortunately, I've had to go for a server replay, so quality's a little bit different than normal. Do forgive me on that one. I forgot to actually save the replay, which is a smart thing of me. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this vehicle. Now, this armoured car is relatively nippy. Now, of course, in snow, mud, and things like that, you are going to suffer. However, it's still got a relatively good bit of speed. But you've got no armour. You've only got, I think it's 16mm at most. Which is enough to stop small arms fire. You might be lucky and stop some 50 cals. But even so, you're probably going to die. You've got an engine in the back. You've got the transmission in the front. Oh, sorry, you've got the transmission in the back, sorry. But you have got the fuel tank and stuff in the front. And there is part of the transmission in the front, sorry. So, yeah, basically that. Ammunition is very low, so you can sort of put this vehicle in a good position. The other good thing is it's a very low-profile tank. As you can see, it's not very tall. The other thing is it's got a very flat turret, which, not great for the crew, not a very comfortable turret for the crew, not a very comfortable vehicle for the crew, but good for you. And the other important thing is you've got this guy sitting here, who's technically the loader, but, well, he's also able to drive the car in reverse, a feature on many armoured cars of the time. So we'll switch back to player view, there we go. Now, this armoured car is very, very cool. The 43mm gun on board is very powerful. You've actually got a very decent shell with up to 69mm of penetration, about 60 to 50mm of penetration across the board. It's also got decent velocity, muzzle velocity of 755 meters per second, which means it's very accurate, which is very helpful. Of course, the other thing you get is scouting. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see the scouting being activated. As I said, unfortunately, replay, blah, blah, blah. But you've got scouting on board, which is really, really helpful. It really, really makes this vehicle. Because this vehicle can sit low. The great thing is you've got the optics port here. You can sit nice and low. You can get the binoculars above you. You can sit pretty much in a safety spot and look at the world around you. Now, this was my first match in this vehicle as well. So, this will give you an idea of how easy it is to use. Now, of course, you're going to have bad games in this car, because it is very lightly armoured. If you hit in the wrong spot, you're going to get taken out very quickly. However, we're fighting things like BT5s at the moment. I spot a BT5 there. Scout him, get the gun on target, fire, instant death. The shell has got great penetration, but also very, very good explosive mass, 30 grams of explosives, and it has very good fragmentation. So, first vehicle destroyed, we've taken out a BT5, which is a prime target. BT5s are very, very fast, very well armoured, and very tricky to take out. Now, here you see one of the disadvantages of an armoured car is because it's got wheels and not tracks, it's not great at traversing uneven ground and grounds that are basically, you know, soft. It struggles a lot. Now, of course, it is four-wheel drive, so that does help things a little bit, but it does struggle a bit. So you've got to be a bit careful in these situations. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to a very well-known little sniper spot above C, this point here, because what I want to do is scout for my team mainly. That was my idea in this match. I wasn't going to be shooting much, I was going to be scouting. Now, one of the disadvantages of this vehicle is it doesn't have great gun depression. Because of that very low silhouetted turret, it doesn't get good gun depression. And that can really affect you when you're playing in a situation like this. If your turret is above the position, then you're fine. If your turret's below the position, you're going to suffer. So as you can see here, binoculars, I'm safe, I can't get hit. I can't hit anybody else though. So I'm basically looking around for scouting targets. As you can see, we're a bit up-tiered here. We're fighting things like Matildas, which are scary. Luckily I didn't face one, because Matildas are hard to kill. But we're just having a bit of a scout around here. Now, I didn't want to play too hard because obviously first game in a vehicle, just trying to feel it out. Trying to get a feel for the gun, trying to get a feel for the tank itself. But what I can say is this tank is very good for a scouting vehicle, and that is what it's mainly for, of course. Armoured cars are not forward fighting vehicles. They're not designed for the front line. They're designed for the side of the line. They're designed for the flanks. They're designed for scouting, for getting in positions where the enemy's not going to spot them, where you can actually take advantage of that and spot the enemy. So my main position of looking is going to be over in this direction, just trying to spot any vehicles that come out that way. But looking around, everything's appearing quite safe at the moment, so relatively quiet for us. So we're skipping ahead a bit here, just because there's not really much happening. A little bit of history on the AB43. Now, the AB43 came from the idea of using the Austrian cannon, the 4732, the 47mm. Now we spotted this 30 here. Now this is where we can see the depression isn't great on this gun. We've got to crest over this hill and try and get into a spot. Now, right now we're not going to be able to hit this guy, but hopefully he's going to be going for C and we'll be able to get a side shot on him. So basically the idea was to put the big gun into this vehicle. Originally the tank only had a 20mm. So we're looking around, there's this 30. Maybe he spots us, maybe not. We take the first shot, we take out his loader and his commander, and then we take out the rest of the vehicle. So that is one vehicle down. Well, two vehicles down, sorry. The AB43 was not really used by many of the Italians. It mostly got used by the Germans and the Wehrmacht. There were a few Italian regiments under the Wehrmacht that used the AB43, but the estimates are around about 12 in all were built pre-armistice. Probably around about 120 were built post-armistice. Now, originally the AB40 actually had an open turret, so we might see some revisions to this vehicle. It might become an open turreted vehicle, in which case the gun may have some more depression to it. There's not really a huge amount of information on some of these vehicles, which is a bit tricky, especially with this slightly flatter turret. However, the vehicle proved quite successful, retrofitted like this. It was a very useful tank, and in-game this is very handy. I will be interested to see if they do actually keep the enclosed turret variant. Or maybe we will see an open top variant come out as a premium, or possibly a sort of reward vehicle or something like that. The vehicle has a relatively decent engine in it, a V8 Fiat petrol engine with around about 120 horsepower. So it's got relatively decent power, weighing in around about 7 to 8 tons as well, so it's not a hugely heavy vehicle, so it's got relatively good power to weight ratio. It can carry a hell of a lot of rounds though. This thing can carry over 100 rounds when you first get it. It's pretty hefty. The vehicle is pretty good like that, but you don't need to take that many. It's just, you know, gives you more risk. But we're still spotting here, keeping C sort of locked down and keeping an eye on things. And this is where this vehicle excels. As I said, as a scouting vehicle, I think this is one of the better scouting vehicles at its BR. Another Zis comes out, we mark it, we roll over the hill, try and get that depression, take the shot, take out the loader, sorry. He reverses and we take the rest of the crew out. It's very frustrating shooting at some vehicles because you just over penetrate. However, that can be useful sometimes as well. Now, one of the interesting things was the Italians wanted to equip the Effetto Pronto heat round to the 47mm, and from the records I've seen, this vehicle was meant to use that heat round. If we get that heat round on this tank, this thing is going to be pretty incredible. I'm pretty sure it's not... No, I'm 100% sure actually it's not available in the research tree yet. However, we could see it come later on, much like we saw with the Japanese vehicles. Getting the heat round will give this tank 100-ish millimeters of penetration. M22 Locust there. For some reason Scout didn't work. We're just going to shoot it. There's a BT5 as well over there. But we're going to take out this Locust. Straight through the front armour, instant kill. BT5 there, a little bit of a hard shot. We just miss on that one. But there's a lot of enemy activity going on over there now. Got another BT5 going down there. Take the shot, miss. Just going to reverse back for a second and try get some protection. Keeping an eye on everything. And we're keeping C relatively locked down, which is quite good. Again, we just scout that BT5. And another BT5 appears. Now he actually sees us and takes a shot. Now this is just an important moment here. We'll just switch to the free camera, because if you see... Oh, crikey, what's happening? Where have we gone? Hello, free camera. Would you like to work? Ooh, we just shot up in the air there. Okay. So, what we want to see here is just that BT5's shell has over-penetrated us. So, where it actually hit, we can't really see any penetration. There we go. We can see the penetration mark now. So it penetrated us here, underneath the tank. And what's happened is it's gone straight through and hit the transmission, but it's not done much damage to it. And it's basically over-penetrated and not exploded on our crew, basically saving us. We got very lucky there. Fire up the BT5, take him out straight away. As I said, this thing is an absolute beast with its gun. The muzzle velocity is just fantastic. Really, really good. Now, there are a lot of enemies around. We're going to tag this BT5 as well. And we're just going to try and crest the ridge again. Try and get the shot. There we go. That's one dead BT5. Now, we're pretty much winning. We've managed to keep the enemy locked down. 6 kills to our name. Not a bad first little game in this vehicle. And spoilers, that's all we're going to get for this game. But we are going to win it at least. So we will skip towards the demise of my vehicle. We do finally get taken out. I'm so glad we have got these armoured cars in game though, because they are just fantastic. They are very, very cool vehicles, and the Italian armoured cars were very important in the war. They're vehicles that were very good, and people really do sort of just pause here, because we're just gonna, there we go. So we're spotting the M16. There's an M24 over there as well, M13, but our demise comes. We get shot straight through the turret, and that's the end of our game. You can see we just got shot there. So yeah, all in all, Very, very good. And of course we got a plane coming in for trying for a revenge kill. Okay, so we're going to get a second video of the AB43, mainly because I discovered something very interesting about this vehicle. This is the Capri de Montagne, the mountain goat. This thing is ridiculous. I don't know if it's because Gaijin hasn't modelled ground resistance properly for wheeled tanks yet, for armoured cars, or if it's because of the ability of a four-wheel drive. But basically, this tank has the ability to climb mountains. What do I mean by that? Well, watch and see. So, I was trying to think of a creative way to get to a position to sort of scout in this match. And I decided, alright, let's try up here, let's see how far we can go. And, well, the AB40 delivered. Look at this, it just climbs over the hills with ease. Now, we didn't get on time enough to take out the M24 there. Sorry, the M2A4. However, our team is. But we have managed to spot the R39 over there. And there's also a B1 bis. We're in a perfect scouting spot to keep an eye over this area. And it's a spot not many people would think of looking. Now, we tag the B1 bis. Being at its side, we're not really going to be able to do much, but I sort of think about, you know, maybe I'll get lucky, maybe I'll hit the, maybe I'll hit just on the right angle or something. No, just missed. I was aiming for the grates. If you don't know about it, there's the grates at the side, which are about 20 millimeters of thickness, and if I got through them, it would have taken it apart. So we're just going to sit here and scout for a little bit. Now we can see there's a BT5 there as well, so we're going to have to try and move our position. And this is where this thing really comes into its own. It's slow, but a low ratio gearbox with grippy tyres means that you're going to climb up a big hill, and that we did. We reverse up, and we are in the perfect spot for shooting at the BT5. Tag him. Now the B1 bis has seen us by now and is trying to get shots at us. Front shot on it is not going to penetrate. We're not going to go through, but we can at least keep it spotted and try and keep it distracted from us, which is the main thing. We want to try and keep them distracted so he's not shooting at our other teammates. BT5 there, a dangerous target. Park our car up. We used a little bit of depression in the ground. He's turning to shoot at us. Not fast enough, Sam. Now, we used the traffic vehicle to get it, but we get hit. Now, we get hit here by the B1 in the engine. Now, let's just see if we can spot. Now, we've lost our commander, I think, and our loader. So we got hit through, there we go, we can see the hole here. So we got penetrated through this section here, and because the armour is so thin, the shell hasn't exploded until this section here, inside the engine itself. So it's gone all the way through here, as you can see, and just love the little details we got inside the vehicles. You know, just the fact that we can actually look inside and have a bit of an idea. Missed our gunner, who is sitting here. Gone through commander, unfortunately, and through our reverse driver. But we're still okay. We're on fire, but things are not too bad. Now, our position's going to be given away because there is a massive, giant black smokestack there now. So we're going to have to repair and hope for the best. Second shot comes in, hits our roof, and now, if we look at the roof, we will see we've been hit pretty heavily on the roof section here, but because of the angle, it's deflected it. There we go. You can see the shot has just hit just there, and basically just gone straight through, no damage. This is where this thing comes into really big strengths. Its lack of armour is actually an advantage, because things just over-penetrate you every single time. So we're repairing, and there are some very close shots coming. We're in a really dangerous spot right now. We'll switch back to the camera view. So we are targeting this guy, and we are obviously scouting him out. So we're keeping that B1 Bis scouted, but a friendly takes shots at him. So that is good. That means that we've got a little bit of time to escape. So we drive up the hill there, and as you can see, the car just gets over this mound again with ease, even though our transmission's a bit damaged. We see the M13 up there. Scout it, raise the gun. A little bit short on that first shot. Go up for the second shot. Take the shot, go straight through the commander, into the ammunition box, and yeah, we don't really do much else. Again, over-penetrating, a fun thing. So now we're going to put it to the real test. Can we climb this hill? This is really just a silly hill. Now, as you know in War Thunder, these hills can be very tricky to traverse in a tank. But in these armoured cars, they're just easy. It's the best way I can put it. They're just easy to get up. You just have such good traction up these hills that you can actually just keep going. Now, unfortunately, stopping loses you that momentum, so you have to be careful sometimes. So we did miss that shot on the M13. Get up again, aim a second shot behind, take the shot, go straight through. Shrapnel does not damage anything important, of course. Now there's an A13 Mark 1 there, prime target. So we've scouted him, take the first shot, we miss, giving away our position. But doesn't look like he's noticed us. Gonna lead a bit more. Take the second shot, we take the driver out. Perfect, that's what we needed. Driver and transmission was damaged. So we're reloading. He takes a shot, fluffs it. We take that second shot, well, third shot technically, and take him out with great ease. This thing has got some really good punch to it. The gun, as I said, has got great velocity, which really helps. And the round has got good effective mass. Now we're basically watching over their spawn now, so we're ineffectively sort of in a spawn camping situation. Now I'm trying really just to scout out the spawn areas and then sort of wait for them to move out a bit before I start taking any real pot shots. I don't really want to be sat up in the position either in this area here. However, I could move up. If I can move up the cliff to this area here, it could be a really good spot to sit. So we'll see how we go. There's a lot of planes up. We've got to be very careful of them, because planes can be really devastating to us because we really lack the armour. If they've got a 20mm cannon on board, we could be absolutely destroyed. That B1 Bis is back. We scout it. We scout down because it is going to shoot at us. That B1 Bis has been after me all game. However, the Stook gets the intelligence and takes it out. We've done our job, we've scouted. Now I'm going to move up to this position here where I can overwatch this whole area now. And basically, I'm not spawn camping, which is nice. You know, it gives the enemy a chance, but I have a good field of view now. So just going to watch out and see what happens. Good position over B. Able to overlook, able to keep an eye on things. Now there is a vehicle down by the silo there, so again we just got to try and keep an eye out for that, because if he tries to move out we could possibly take some shots at him. So again, we're just going to keep on scouting really, and this is where this thing is just great. It is an amazing scout. This is quickly becoming one of my favourite scout vehicles. Now it may not be the fastest out there, but it does really work well. T26 there. We scout it, wait for our gun to get on target, take the first shot, transmission and driver both gone, reverse up a little bit, he's not seen our location, reloading, and he is gone. Not a super high value target, but a target that could cause damage. Now the Flak Panzer is keeping the enemy at the silo sort of at bay. Now I'm going to have to try and get down here and see what's going on. So, sort of just looking around with the camera, being able to get some sort of viewish area. Reverse a little bit too much. Still playing around with this vehicle, still trying to get used to it, of course. But this guy's getting a lot of fire on him. So the H39 there, a very tough tank to crack, especially frontally. We scout it. So we've placed a scout marker on there. I'm just going to roll down the hill a little bit. And we're just going to try and place our shot, but it gets taken out before we can do it. So now we're in a little bit of an awkward spot because we're a little bit stuck here for the moment. But we'll be fine. We'll just need to wobble around a little bit and get into a better position. We're still able to overlook the area where they're coming from the spawn and be protected. Now, I'm not a huge fan of spawn camping in the standard gameplay. However, in this match type, where you have the enemy camp next to the spawns, spawn camping is kind of needed. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that it's going to happen, because if you're at B, you're going to be able to shoot into either spawn, same as if you're at A. So, just going to try and move into some positions just so we can keep an eye on people and just really keep an eye out and just help friends if an enemy does spawn in. Now I was trying to spot that gas truck behind the rock there, but unable to. But still just looking around and scouting and things like that. So just keeping an eye out for things and seeing what's happening in the world, you know, see what's going on. And if that gas truck does appear from behind the rocks, then we've got a shot ready for him. A little bit of a lull now. We're on 4 kills though, so not bad. Would be nice to get 5, but you know, not always going to get that. Not always going to get the ace, as they say. But we're able to keep a good view over the spawn in this section. The airplanes are shooting at the gas truck and finally take it out. So now we just got to watch out just in case anything else spawns. B is being capped. Things are looking good. And it's coming towards the end of the game. But we'll just still keep scouting out just in case. Now, on this position overlooking the spawn, there's a very brief moment where you'll see an enemy target. So there's a South 40 there that I missed completely as I'm driving down. But I sort of think about moving upwards a little bit, but then get a bit stuck here because I'm sort of in a position where I can't really get myself out with much ease. As good as this vehicle is manoeuvring over objects, getting a bit of dead tree on your tank really screws you over. And this sort of sheer rock face is going to just make you stuck. So just playing around here, just seeing where I can go and really what the limits are of this tank now, because it's yeah, it really surprised me with its ability to climb. This thing is just such a good climber. It can get into positions where you normally wouldn't expect a tank. So it's going to be really good for those games where you're sort of not expecting a vehicle. When your enemy team is sort of there, BT7 a high value target there. Now we've just missed it going up the hill, but we have scouted it, so that is good news. Being scouted, we can now see it on our mini-map, so we can keep an eye on where it's going and really keep an eye out for it. B is being capped, so we're almost at victory, but this BT7 could do a bit of damage towards the end of the game. We see it just momentarily, and then finally go through binoculars, and we can just see the top of that. Okay, we aim the shot. Beautiful. A fantastic shot there, just a really lucky shot. This thing is just superb at the climbing. As I said, this is the mountain lion, the mountain goat. It is just fantastic, and definitely one of my favourite Italian vehicles I've played. It is just fun. Now, a lot of these vehicles were used by the Germans, as I said, in post-armistice. This was a post-armistice vehicle, and if we just look at the armour, you can see 8mm of armour, it's really got nothing. 18mm on the mantlet, 37. You know, you don't have enough armour to protect you sort of from much at all. But you do have some good survivability. As I say, when you're shooting through this vehicle, through the bottom sections here, if you get shot, the shots are just going to go straight through, or hit the drivetrains and not penetrate the underneath armour, because you have got some effective armour under the vehicle. There are some trolly little slopes as well. So from the front, for instance, this bit here is going to ricochet. Sometimes. It says ricochet, but actually it's going to penetrate. Okay. But you do get a lot of ricochets. We are using, of course, our own shell in this stage. So you have got chances of ricochets and things like that, and sometimes you're going to survive shots. You've also got the chance of these shells over-penetrating, as you can see. When you do get hit, if they don't hit anything, there's a chance they're going to over-penetrate, and in those cases, you know, you may not lose a crew member, you may just keep fighting effectiveness, which is really, really handy. The vehicle is so lightly armoured that most shells won't actually fuse, so it's got some serious use in that respect. Okay guys, well I hope you've enjoyed this little video and this little show off for the AB43. Fantastic little vehicle from the Italians, and well worth it. As I said in my previous video on grinding the Italian line, I would recommend getting this for your first vehicle in the rank 2 section, because it's going to be a big help and you're going to get some good research points for your next tank. And here are the results from that second match. This thing is ludicrous. The ability to climb is just fantastic. It's a little mountain goat. Yeah, I've fallen in love with this armoured car. Definitely. Yeah, what can I say? This thing is fantastic. So, I've just, as I said, this is a add-on video really to the other part, because I found an ability for this vehicle that I didn't know about. Now, I don't know if it's because ground resistance isn't worked out right. If it is, then this thing is just a fantastic little mountain goat. If not, then whatever. But it seems like it could well be. The 4x4 vehicles have independent suspension generally, things like that. We just returned to the hangar. Got a lot of things to unlock right now. I'm going to go for the engine and transmission for sure. It's going to make this thing even worse. Artillery, yes please. Brake system, might as well. Airstrike, might as well. Okay, there we go. Almost aced it in 2 games. 2 games, that's it. That's all it's taken to almost ace this vehicle. But because you've got, if we just look at the X-ray, you've got independent suspension, so you've got all 4 wheels that move in different ways. And with the 4-wheel drive, it means you've got a little bit more grip, basically. And your tyres can be in different positions, whereas, and I apologise for the noisy truck outside as well, whereas when you've got a tracked vehicle, although your tracks have greater ground resistance, because, you know, it's a wider surface, blah blah blah, it's not as independent, and it only has that one drive point, so sometimes they can get slippery. Whereas when you've got a wheeled vehicle, you've got tyres that grip into things, and they're going to move independently, so they're going to move into spots of rocks where normally a track wouldn't, so you might get a bit more traction. So that might be what's happening here, and if that's the case, then fantastic. Also, the survivability of this thing is just amazing. As you saw there, we really took a bit of a pounding, but just because of how thin the armour is, everything just goes through. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Hi guys, now just a quick charity shout out here for the Cat Adoption Foundation in Adelaide, Australia. It's a no-kill fostering foundation and network, and right here we're seeing some of the kitties that are up for foster, other than the big black panther who is actually housed. Basically just calling out for any shares in the world or people that are willing to donate anything to these guys. They really do a great job and look after all our animals. Thank you so much, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.